Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another day here at Reach and Reverie. Mr. Tumbleweed, you're not allowed in my garden. No, sir. So this morning, as I enter my garden, I'm starting the day by pulling out my little plant trays for plant boot camp. Today is hopefully their final day of training before the real world. I'm gonna pull my trays out, let them sit here in the east sun for the first 4 hours of the day. You can see the sun is just now cresting over the mountain over there. And I will harden off my seedlings for about 4 to 5 hours this morning. And once they have graduated boot camp today, my goal is that tomorrow they will go into their permanent homes in the ground tomorrow morning. You can see permanent grounds, their final homes right here. This is where they're gonna live. And then once I get the plants added to plant boot camp, we're gonna run over to the orchard and start whitewashing our new fruit trees. So stay tuned for that later in this video. Some of my plastic flats are close to breaking. I got some cheap ones from our local garden center. So I'm gonna use these. This used to be the racks in my old greenhouse that blew away, and I keep them because they're the perfect size to set a flat on, and it gives it a little bit more stability so that we can get these flats through the season. And maybe next season we'll buy some higher quality plant trays so they won't be so flopsy and flimsy and crack and break. Typically the ones I get from my local garden center only last about 1 season, so I'm buying new plant trays just about every year, unfortunately. And this one, when I go to pick it up, it just wants to cave in. So I'm gonna slide this rigid frame underneath it so I can move my trays. And I probably have 3 or 4 trays that are just like that are gonna break when I pick them up. So luckily I have about 4 of those racks that I saved that we can use to keep them from breaking. That's one right there. Over here. Can you lay down and sit? Stay. This is my workout for the day. See how it's popping out right there? That would just collapse when you go to pick it up. Just like that, we got about 20 trays out, ready to get some full sun this morning. And I can already tell that their leaves are starting to get darker and thicker. So this hardening off should be working. We don't want to put our plants directly into the garden when you have had them in a greenhouse environment their whole lives, because the sun is filtered in the greenhouse. The environment, the wind, everything is a little bit muted for them. So you have to put them through a little bit of boot camp, harden them off for a few days. I'd say at least 2 to 4 days minimum, trying to harden them off for 3 to 4 hours a day before you put them into their permanent homes in full sun, so that it helps reduce the risk of sun scald, sunburning, and reducing the stress on your little guys. Got our tomatoes, a couple peppers, we got some ground cherries and tomatillos, an eggplant in that tray, more tomatoes. These are mostly cucumbers and pumpkins. We have some watermelons, more peppers, and some more cucumbers and squash over here and gourds. We also have a lot of peppers in the bottom, tray full of herbies, and some flowers and things like basil as well. They're just happy as can be. I hope we can let them stay that way. Are you my garden helper? She's my faithful watchdog while I do my gardening chores. She takes her job very seriously. You standing guard? You ready to go? Are you done? Ready to clock out? Ready to go inside? I think she's still enjoying her watchdog. Come on, let's go. We're gonna go to the orchard. Ready to clock out? Yeah. Borzoi are an amazing dog breed. Truly remarkable. Let me show you one of the cons about this breed. This time of year, let me just pet you for a minute. Yeah, I brushed her twice this week already. They shed a lot. A lot. Don't you, Evie? Say, I gotta get my winter coat out. Bred for northern Russian winters. Living in Texas, what is the deal? Yeah. So I have my timer set. We're gonna do 4 hours in the sun for these guys. We'll put them back in the greenhouse for one more evening in the nursery. And then tomorrow, they're gonna grow up and graduate to the real world in the garden. So while the little plants are doing their best to harden off and get used to the desert sun out here, we're walking over to the orchard, and Evie and I, we're gonna whitewash some trees to protect our little trees that we just planted in the orchard from our harsh sun. So the garden veggies are having to harden off and grow stronger for the sun, and our fruit trees are gonna get painted to protect them from it. We are whitewashing our trees with a lime and water mixture, like a paste paint type thing that we've mixed together by just taking hydrated dolomitic lime and mixing it with water and letting it mix overnight. And now we're gonna go ahead and paint that on the trees. I'm grabbing that, but while I'm over here, I wanted to show you guys a little update. This is our front yard. It's kind of on the side of our property, but it is out front of our RV. So this is what we've dubbed the front yard, and we are trying desperately to grow grass here to help prevent erosion control, because our property has the ever so slightest slope, and it slopes right towards our RV. So when we get heavy rains, we get a lot of water that just wants to rush right over to it. So Josh has built a berm here to slow the water down, and we want to direct it down and around our driveway. And so what we've done is we have sown a ton of grass seed. We actually came and had tilled this, put grass seed down, raked it in. We also sowed wildflower seeds, and we placed onions on the berm. Now we do live in a desert, So take that with a grain of salt. We're actually really happy with the way this is growing right now. Josh has been watering this probably about 3 days a week, and we've had rain once in the past week as well. So we do have a little bit of grass growing. Over here we have some grass growing right along, especially so the berm, and you can see the onions are doing amazing. These onions are growing so good, and this is all plain native ground. We didn't do any amending at all. And just sitting here looking at it, I can see got some tumbleweeds. We don't like tumbleweeds. Gonna come and pull out all the tumbleweeds I see. Got a couple goat heads already coming up. Tumbleweeds, but we do also have grass. We do have some grass, and I see amaranth is coming up on its own. We also have some marigolds, and I also saw over here we had some cosmos, more marigolds, so that's gonna be cool. We'll have a little bit of wildflowers growing on in this section. And then our onions, take a look at that. We are kind of excited about this. There's a bunch of tumbleweeds in that berm. I don't want to get too close because I don't want to step on our new grass, but we do not like tumbleweeds at all. Boom, bye. Go tumble off somewhere else. That's looking great. We have made it into our orchard where we have our first row of 12 fruit trees planted. On our last video, we showed you how we have bermed around our trees. We also amended the pH of the soil for our trees by adding some dry lime powder at the base of the trees. We then added mulch into the berms, and we've watered them in. And when mulching our fruit trees, if you missed our last video, we do what kind of looks like a donut where you have the mulch higher in this berm. This is going to help retain water around the roots of your trees. It's also going to provide an insulative barrier for your roots, but additionally we pulled it back away from the base of each of our little fruit trees, and there's just a very thin layer of mulch at the base of the tree because we don't really want to hold moisture on the bark of the tree. We'd rather water out around the roots and let the tree kind of spread out a little bit more. We also really don't want a heavy layer of mulch resting up the tree because that will encourage some pests to kind of munch on it a little bit. So why are we whitewashing these trees to begin with? Is it safe to paint your trees? So what we're doing today is we are painting on this whitewashing mixture, which is simply where we've taken a hydrated dry dolomitic lime, which is organic, and we've mixed it with water and created a paint-like consistency paste that we're going to paint on our trees. Whitewashing or lime washing your trees will help prevent sun damage. It also can prevent frost damage on young trees, as well as provide some level of pest protection by making the pH of that bark unsuitable for a lot of pests that like to munch on your trees. That being said, getting into this, painting this tree, how are we going to do this? So what we did was yesterday evening, we added some dry lime powder into this bucket, and then we filled it up with water, mixed it together, and we've let this soak overnight. This morning I came back out and I added a little bit more water to get the consistency that we want. This is just a paste form that we can paint onto the tree. And we're gonna come up basically as low down as we can go, and then we're gonna paint up this tree about 18 inches. You can go 12 to 18 inches. And you just are gonna cover everything. Create a nice layer here. Now you can apply this a few times a year. Typically you'll do it in early spring while the trees are still dormant or just starting to wake up. You can also do this in the fall so that they can have the frost protection. And then if it wears off or washes off before then, you can also do it in the middle of the summer. So 2 to 3 applications a year on your fruit trees and you should be set. This right here is a Grimes golden apple that we're painting. And I will be coming out with a video soon telling you guys why I chose all of the fruit varieties that we did, because we were very thorough in our research and selection of these first 12 trees in our orchard. We plan on having a total of about 70 fruit trees when this orchard is done. It's going to be a full acre orchard with grapes and berries and fruit trees galore. And so this first year, we really wanted to make the most out of what things we were selecting, options we were selecting, trees that are going to be fruitful and successful. We want our trees to live long and happy, healthy lives. We want them to do well. We really wish them success. And so we want to set them up right by picking trees that will perform well in our area and are suitable for our climate and our environment. So that's it. We're just going to come up. That's about 18 inches. And we'll move on to the next one. You want to make sure that when you're applying this, that you're doing so when it's at least 50 degrees outside to help promote drying. The last thing you want to do is try to protect your trees and do it on a really cold day. It's not able to dry right, and you really don't want to make your plants get sick by holding that moisture there on their bark and slowing down that process. You want to get this on and get it dry. So we're coming out here in the early morning. It's above 50 degrees. The sun is shining, so these should dry up in no time. All right, Grimes Golden, good luck to you. And there you have it. Our last fruit tree in the orchard has been whitewashed. I was being careful to not paint over any new buds because we definitely don't want to inhibit that growth, as some of our trees are already waking up out of their dormancy. Now, if you are pruning your fruit trees, of course, while you're whitewashing, it is okay to whitewash over the cut point to help seal up that wound. And that is what it looks like. Everybody is washed. And that was a pretty easy chore. The trees are whitewashed. Again, it was pretty simple as far as the ingredients, literally just 2 ingredients. I think you can add some extra ingredients as well, depending on what your pest pressure is, to really help encourage those little beetles from burrowing into your fruit trees. But as far as we go, we were just trying to keep it simple and as organic as possible. So lime, water, a paintbrush, a little bit of time early in the morning, and we got these trees taken care of. You all itchy? Say, I'm trying to shed out all my hair right now. That is just crazy. Look at all that hair coming off. I think Evie's gonna get a good brush and a bath today. Look at that. All itchy. You gotta get all that loose hair off, huh? You're gonna be a little short-haired dog here in a minute. It's funny, when she sheds and blows out her winter coat, she turns into a much shorter-haired dog than in the wintertime. Woo, Weavy! You are molting into a whole new beast. There they are. I love our littles. Can't wait to see how they look when they're bigger. Well, my friends, that's going to be it for today's video, but stay tuned. We will be planting out our garden tomorrow, so that's going to be a new video coming out soon. And we're also going to have a full tour of this orchard and go over all of the reasons why we chose each of these specific varieties to live in our fruit orchard. So you don't want to miss that one. It's a great video coming up. If you liked this video, don't forget to give us a huge thumbs up. It really helps our channel, and hit that subscribe button. That way you don't miss what's coming next. And leave a comment below. Are you growing any fruit trees this year? And what are you doing to protect them from your climate? Did you go find some shade? It's not that hot yet. It's not that hot. Well, Evie and I will catch you guys on the next one.